Welcome back to the channel, and in here I have a simple video that I'm going to do using Solidworks. Now I'm not going to use any kind of fancy commands, and what I mean by fancy is like the whole command, for example. So all of these are just going to be created with extruded circles. So my goal here is to just have one sketch, one extrusion, right? So that way we can see how you can create an extrusion off of one sketch. But keep in mind that using the whole command or the whole wizard has some benefits, like if the hole is threaded or counterbore or countersink. So just keep in mind that in this video, all we're doing is just doing regular holes, but there is a better way of doing this. And I'm not going to say it's an easier way. The process should be about the same. All right, so let's jump over to SolidWorks and get started. Okay, so here in SolidWorks, we're going to start off by selecting a new icon, and then we'll select parts and OK. And as usual, we'll give SolidWorks a little bit of time to load up. Okay, once it's ready to go, we'll start off on the sketch command here, or the sketch tab, and then I'll just create a sketch. And I'll place this one on the front plane. Let's go ahead and define this circle by using a circle with the center. Sorry, a rectangle with the center. All right. I'll go ahead and select that point, which is the origin, and then I'll specify my rectangle. Let's go ahead and escape out of that and put some dimensions on here. So we'll have a dimension going from here, and the overall length of this is going to be 254. And then we'll go ahead and specify the other length. And let's see. And that length will be look like 107.2. All right, so that's going to be the length and the width that I need to create my rectangle. Now, I can go ahead and put another rectangle on the inside of this, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, just to define some other holes here, right? So we're going to just use a regular 2-point rectangle here. So corner rectangle, I'll just go ahead and select here. And then I'll place the other corner here. And what I'll do with this one is that I'm going to highlight it, and I'm holding down the left button and right clicking and going right over the top of it. And once I got it all selected, I'll go ahead and select this button here, which is construction geometry. So you can see that now it's not part of my actual model because it's not double grayed in on that. Let's go ahead and put some dimensions on here. So we're going to go from here to here. And we're going to give this a distance of 60. And then we're going to specify the other length on the other side of this. So we're going to go from this line all the way over to here. And I will apologize. It seems like my SolidWorks is running a little bit slow today. But this distance here is going to be 147.2. All right, so there's my inside kind of predefined here. Let's go ahead and put a couple of more dimensions on it, and it should be good to go. So we're going to do a dimension from that bottom line to that line here. And this is going to have a dimension of, should be what, 10? And then we're going to do that top dimension here. And it's going to have a distance from this bottom line here all the way up to this point. And the dimension for that one will be, looks like 243.6. Okay, so that's going to be my overall length on that one. So that rectangle is actually defined, right? I can go ahead and place my circles on the end of that, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and place a circle at each one of the endpoint corners, and I will over exaggerate these circles. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. All right, and now all of these circles need to be equal to each other. So let's hit the escape button. That gets us out of the dimensioning command there. I'll select this first circle, and I'll select the second circle here. I'll go ahead and select this third circle. And then finally, this last circle here, and I'm still holding down that shift button. Once you got them all selected, I'm just going to use the equal constraint, so I can select it here from the window, or I can go here to the side and select the equal button, and all of them should get equal to each other. Okay, so now from here I can go ahead and put a dimension on it, and it doesn't matter which one I put a dimension on, so I'll put a dimension on this circle here. And now here's another thing, is that depending on how you create that dimension, it's either going to give you one that has like regular dimension lines on it, or if you kind of rotate up, it will give you the leader option. But it doesn't matter which method that you use, it's going to give you the same thing, right? So this one has a diameter of, let's see, 38.8. Oh, nope. I incorrect on that. Let's escape out of that. I'm going to double click on this dimension. This one has a diameter of 8.4. Okay, that looks a lot better. Alright, and now I have two more holes of this same size, and they're located somewhere along here, right? So I don't have to go ahead and put a line and kind of sketch them and do things of that nature. I can just go ahead and create these circles, and I'll do them here, and I'll put one here. And I'm just over exaggerating these circles on purpose. I'm going to select both of these circles. I'm going to hold down the shift button and then click one circle and then the other one. Once I let go of the shift button and I stop selecting, you should get this window that shows up. I'm going to make it equal. Remember, you can either choose it there or you can choose it here on the side. Alright, let's escape out of that, and that's a common practice to do, is hit the escape button a couple of times just to clear out any commands. I'll go ahead and select this center point, hold down the shift button, and select that center point. Once I let go of the center point and I hover for a little bit, it's going to give me some quick selection options. So I'm just going to make it horizontal, and now you see that those are in line with each other. Let's escape. Let's go ahead and select this point here. And then I'm holding down the shift button and I'll select this line. Then I'm going to go ahead and make this a coincidence, right? And you can see that a coincidence is one of the options. So when I do that, it should automatically jump over there. Escape a couple of times. Let's go ahead and select this line here, hold down the shift button, and then select that line. Once again, let go of the shift button. You're going to get a window that should appear, and I'll make that a coincidence. Alright, so now from here, I can go ahead and select this line, or that circle. If I hold down the shift button, and remember, I already made those two equal. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I got the two wrong holes here. I was meaning to make two holes on the outside, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and put two more holes on here. I think I'm a little bit ahead. So these two circles here have a diameter of 38.3. But let's go ahead and put the other ones on there just so we can go ahead and specify them. So I'm going to place a circle here and one here. Let's escape out of this command. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to escape a couple of times. I'll go ahead and find the center here. Hold down the shift button. Select this other center. I'm going to make these two horizontal to each other. And then I'm going to place a coincidence on both of them, right? So I'll escape. I'll select this center point, hold down the shift button, and select this line. And you've seen me do this before. Hopefully you're kind of getting the hang of how Solidworks is working. Escape out of this command here. Go ahead and select that point. Hold down the shift button. Select here. And then just go ahead and make it a coincidence, right? I'll go ahead and select it on this side now. Alright. Let's go ahead and place a dimension on these. Now these are going to eventually be equal to that. So I can go ahead and do that. I can select this circle here. Then this one. And then I'm going to select one of them from the top here, which is this one. Once I let go of the shift button, I should get the quick option here to choose make equal. So all of these are equal to each other. And let's go ahead and put some dimensions on it. So we'll do a dimension from here to the center here. And I know these are kind of crossing, but just kind of keep in mind, as long as you keep track of which dimension is which, you should be fine. And it looks like this has a height going up from that bottom, 94.4. All right, and then I'll go ahead and specify another dimension from this same bottom line here all the way up to that center point right here. Let's go ahead and place this dimension. And this one gonna go up to the height of, looks like 243.6. Oh, looked like we went too high. Let's go ahead and hit the escape button. I'm sorry, that should be 200.4. All right, so let's go ahead and double click on this dimension again. This should be 200.4. All right, and that should drop back down here. And then we're going to put a diameter dimension. So I'll just go ahead and select that circle here. Move my cursor here to the outside. It should give me a leader dimension on it. Oh, I was meaning to hit escape twice. Let's go back to the smart dimensioning. Put a dimension on that circle here. Go ahead and place it. And remember, like I said before, this has a dimension of that 38.3. So let's go ahead and put that in here. All right, so that's going to specify these diameters of these circles. Now I do have two more circles here that I need to add. So let's go ahead and use a circle here. And I'm just going to place it, anywhere random here. I'm going to escape. I want to make these two horizontal to each other, so I'll select this center point, hold down the shift button, select this center point. It seems like my computer is running a little bit slower than normal today, but once those two are highlighted, you should get this window pop up. Go ahead and make it horizontal. I'm going to escape out of that. I'll hold down the shift button. So I'll select this one, hold down the shift button, select the other one. And then I'm going to keep that shift button held down, and I'll select this circle here. And I'm going to make all three of these equal to each other. Remember that those are equal to some other ones from before, so those should automatically go down to that small size. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I want to make this line on line with this one, so I'll select this center point. Hold down the shift button here. I'm going to select that center point. And then I'm also going to select this center point here. Let go of the shift button and tell it that you want all this to be horizontal to each other. All right, let's escape out of here and put some more dimensions on. So we're going to do a dimension from this line to that center point here. Once I place that dimension, that distance should be 17.8. We're going to put another dimension from this line here to the center point of this one. We're going to go ahead and place that dimension somewhere along here. And this one is going to have a dimension of 189.4. All right, and now we just need two more circles here. So let's zoom out. Let's escape here. We have two circles located somewhere here in the middle. So I'm just going to use a regular circle here, and I'll go ahead and place them. And like we did before, I'll select this circle, hold down the shift button and select this one. And we're going to make these two equal to each other. So I'll select the equal, escape, select that center, hold down the shift button and select this center. Once I let go of the shift button here and hover for just a second here, go ahead and make those two vertical to each other. And I should have added one more. I'm just going to hold down the shift button here and select this center origin here. I'll go ahead and let go of that center button. Then I'll make all of them horizontal to each other, right? So all of these in the middle are horizontal. So all I need is two more dimensions, right? So let's go ahead and do our dimensioning. Another way, if you don't feel like going up here, you can always hit the S button on your keyboard. And this is going to bring up some of the common commands that you should be using next, right? So instead of doing it by going up there, I can type in S on my keyboard. Then from here I can select this line to that center point. I'll go ahead and place that dimension here, and this has a distance of 38. So let's type in 38. The next one should have a dimension from this line to that center point. And I'll go ahead and place this one. And this has a dimension of 147.8. And then we need one more dimension, right? And I think we should have all of this one completed. So we're just going to add a dimension right here. And let's go ahead and put this dimension down here. Now it doesn't matter which one of those circles that I could have selected. They're both going to give me the same solution since they are equal to each other. And then this circle has a diameter of 23.2. Okay, so everything on this one is done now. I got everything fully defined, which you can see here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and exit this sketch. And then what we're going to do next is that we're going to extrude this. So I'm just going to rotate this to the side for us. Click the Features tab. And then I'll go ahead and use the Extrude Boss Base. Once this command appears, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select where I want to affect, right? So I can select here and you can see that it's going around it. I can also select on the inside of these circles, but what I want to show is just the outside part of this. Last thing I need to do is give it the thickness, which is already set for us at 10, and it is going to mid-plane, right? So we can decide we can send it one direction, which is blind. We can send it in the mid-plane. We can send it up to a surface. So there's a few different ways of doing this. Also, if I do a blind, I can go in one direction one way, and then I can go one direction another way. We do have a thin feature option in here, which we will discuss in other videos. But just to let you know that we didn't have to do this one, we could have done it a different way to get that thickness, basically what that is. But I'm just going to go ahead and select this and place it back on mid-plane. And then I'll go ahead and tell it that yes, we're done with it. So I'll go ahead and hit the OK option here. It should create or produce our solid. Once I do one little left click here, the profile of that sketch will go away. I'll go ahead and hit the space bar. And then I'm just going to select here. And that's going to give me my isometric, right? So hopefully you enjoyed this demonstration here in Solidworks. Just remember that we could have created this using hold commands. But I wanted to show you that there are some variations of how you can create it and line some things up and do some of those other things, like with all of those relations and dimensioning, right? So thank you for watching this video. As always, keep drafting. See you in the next video.